What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this lovely Saturday evening, guys? How's everybody doing out there? We are just coming off our loss for the preseason game, but let's just give it up real quick. Fire emojis. The preseason is absolutely over for the Arizona Cardinals, and now we can focus on what really matters, which is going to be the regular season that starts on September the 11th against the Kansas City Chiefs. So definitely big shout out to that. I am honestly very, very excited about the regular season finally coming because I feel like it's taken forever. Now, the Arizona Cardinals actually did lose today. Obviously, this post-game show is going to be talking about Arizona Cardinals versus the Tennessee Titans. Arizona Cardinals almost had it, y'all. They almost had it. They had the lead, but unfortunately, they couldn't hold it. The defense just kind of broke, and they ended up losing against the Tennessee Titans 26-23. Now, the Arizona Cardinals had an opportunity to do something under a minute, but we just couldn't do anything. I don't know. It was just really weird. I'm not going to blame Cliff Kingsbury. Obviously, we're not going to get too worked up about this type of game because it is preseason at the end of the day, but it does suck, right? I think this was probably the closest game that we had to a regular season game. Like, if you're not looking at, like, the players that were playing, this game right here, at least the last 5 minutes, was probably the closest thing that we actually kind of came towards for the 2022 season for a regular game for the Arizona Cardinals. So definitely shout out to the Arizona Cardinals for putting up an actually pretty darn good game. Overall, obviously, we're going to be talking about, this game just in whole. We'll talk about the winners, we'll talk about the losers, and just kind of overall, like, we're not going to talk about 53-man roster. I am going to make a video specifically about like who I think is going to make the 53-man roster in my prediction, but I'm not going to lie to you, y'all. This game made it just that much more difficult for me to really kind of say who's going to be there and who's not, right? We're just all we're basically going off a whim at this very moment. We really don't know exactly what's going to happen with this 53-man roster, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Now, we do have a date in terms of when we're going to find out and what that's going to look like. That is going to be this coming Tuesday, August the 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific time / Arizona time. Now, I think obviously the Eastern time is going to be 4 p.m., but for us, it's going to be 1 p.m. On Tuesday is when we're going to figure out who the 53-man roster is. But obviously, we are going to be putting out some content out tomorrow talking about who I believe the 53-man roster and what it's going to look like and how it's going to shake out just in general. So definitely do me one huge favor. If you guys are just getting in right now, we got 35 people in the chat currently right now. Definitely do me one huge favor. Smack that like button. But it's the end of the preseason, ladies and gentlemen. Regular season is upon us, and this is exactly what we're looking for. But honestly, the best part about preseason is looking at the rookies. The best part of preseason is looking about those second-year players, those fringe players, and really kind of figuring out who's going to make it, who's not going to make it, who's going to try to find their own way into another 53-man roster because they just didn't make the cut for the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll dive into all that here pretty soon, everybody. So big shout out to everybody that's currently in the chat. Let me just give some big shout outs. We got Ian in the house. We got Not Mario. We got Lennon, Irwin, Jack, Alex, Lord, what's going on? Anish, I see you there as well. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Let's dive right into it, right? Let's talk about this game. The Arizona Cardinals ends up losing against the Tennessee Titans 26-23. And overall for the Tennessee Titans, we saw a lot of Malik Willis. A lot. Now, he was 15 out of 23, 130 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but not only that, he ran the ball down the Arizona Cardinals' throats. Now, we're not going to really completely, focus too much on Malik because obviously he's a Tennessee Titan, but 4 rushing attempts or 4 carries with 79 yards. Yeah, he definitely got busy for sure. Treylon Burks is also a player to really kind of be excited for in the Tennessee Titan land. 3 receptions, 33 yards, 1 touchdown. Overall, that was kind of the gists of it, right? I mean, they also did have Julius Chestnut, which 9 carries, 27 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Logan Woodside, which is their quarterback that came in and pretty much, stuck a fork in the Arizona Cardinals' hearts. And that just kind of obviously making us not win this game. But overall, really good job for the Tennessee Titans, right? I think the Arizona Cardinals had this game pretty wrapped up just in general until the last minute or two. So overall, this was the closest thing that we've seen to really be like, hey, this is NFL football right here, like, or at least it's coming very, very close. Like, not don't pay attention to the names behind, but this is the closest thing that we've seen to an NFL football game. So I'm really excited about how next week's gonna. I'm sorry, in 2 weeks this is gonna shake out. So September 11th is gonna be our very first game, Arizona Cardinals versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm absolutely super stoked about it. So big winners. Let's talk about winners. Let's talk about losers. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that everybody wants to talk about. First, let's talk about winners for the Arizona Cardinals, and then we will talk about, I don't want to call them losers, but you know what I mean, people that didn't do very well. So let's talk about winners first. Now, I see a lot of people in the chat here. Guys, if you want to get your comment pinned, the option of super chatting is there. Helps the channel grow out, and then it makes your comment turn a beautiful color. And it's very pretty on the eye. So just FYI. So let's jump into the winners, who I think the Arizona Cardinals did a very good job in this game. Now, Trace McSorley did decent, right? I think we saw Trace McSorley a little bit more than the half that we would thought he would have played. So he was 15 out of 29, 144 yards, but no touchdowns. Jarek Guarantano, on the other hand, 7 out of 14, 141 yards, and then 1 touchdown. But I'm not going to put the quarterbacks in a winner column personally. I think Trace McSorley had a good game, but I really wouldn't call him a winner. Now, to me specifically, I want to definitely give a huge shout out to Andy Isabella. Man, this guy is working. Andy Isabella has done everything in his power to really make a difficult job for this Arizona Cardinal front office to cut him this year. This is the best Andy Isabella has looked ever. And you know, some people are saying it's not his fault, right? It's the fact that he's not in the position to succeed. They're not using him right. There's a lot of different things kind of floated around in the area right now, but Andy Isabella has looked absolutely dynamite in this preseason, just in general. He had 5 receptions, 115 yards, just absolutely great. Now, Greg Dortch, on the other hand, we've been talking about him all preseason long. 6 receptions, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then Victor Bolden Jr. Definitely got to give kudos to Victor Bolden Jr. Now, he did make a silly mistake by muffing a punt as well, and kind of gave momentum over to the Tennessee Titans. But I still do think that he's a winner in my books. 4 receptions, 51 yards, because he made a really, really dynamic play. Just kind of like a turned around and got the pass. So I think overall our wide receivers did very, very well. Now, this is the game that I've seen Daryl Williams a lot more than I expected. Now, granted, we only saw him have 2 carries, but he was in the game more than I thought he was going to be. Daryl Williams had 2 carries, 9 yards, 1 touchdown. But when I've seen Daryl Williams, he looked pretty good, y'all. He looked pretty good. He definitely looked pretty good. Obviously, I've been raving about Eno Benjamin. I still do believe Eno Benjamin is going to be the number 2, but I'm not going to lie to you. The way that this is all kind of shaking out, right, with Daryl Williams, Jonathan Ward, and now Keontae Ingram also getting into the mix. Keontae Ingram had 16 carries and 61 yards. Like, he was involved, y'all. He was involved as they possibly could be. So just great job. Like, this is going to be such a hard thing to predict, because we're finding ourselves with so much great potential, so much great players, and so much great depth this year that I'm very curious to figure out how this is going to shake out for the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to have a player or two that we're going to be very upset that the Arizona Cardinals are going to cut. I'm just going to put it out there right now, because there's no, I don't know. It's just crazy how this is going to shake out. So winners, Andy Isabella, Greg Dortch, and I have to give it to Keontae. I know Daryl Williams got the touchdown, but I got to give it to Keontae. Other than that, I think that's good for the offensive side of the ball. Now, obviously, we have some, notable people to talk about: Victor Bolden Jr., Daryl Williams, Eno Benjamin. Other than that, I think the winners, I would like to say Andy Isabella, Greg Dortch, and Keontae Ingram for my winners on the offensive side of the ball. Now, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. We seen today Cameron Thomas have 2 sacks, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say that again. Cameron Thomas had 2 sacks today. Our 3rd round pick that we ended up getting this last year, he ended up producing. And I'm actually really excited to see how this is going to shake out for Cameron Thomas. Like, there's so much potential in how this is going to look like for this Arizona Cardinal roster, right? We got 2 young edge players that we ended up getting this year in the draft. Cam Thomas, as well as Majay Sanders, right? Very, very intriguing players if they really get the opportunity. So definitely a winner in my eyes for Cam Thomas, 110%. On the defensive side of the ball, really, really, really huge. Now, another play on the defensive side of the ball that I definitely want to give recognition to is going to be none other than Zavin Collins. Now, I've been giving Zavin Collins so much issues, right? Like, okay, I apologize. It's not that I've been giving him issues, but I've had him on my loser list that 1 week. I have. I'm not going to lie to you. But this week, he has made me a believer, ladies and gentlemen. He had a couple plays that he just looked absolutely dynamite. And I really like the fact that we're using him a lot in preseason, because it really kind of goes to show and tells them like, hey, we believe in you, but we got to see it on tape. And honestly, I think this game, he really did a good job. Absolutely. I think he did a fantastic job on the defensive side of the ball. So my two winners for defense, although yes, we have some notable people to talk about, I'm going to say Cam Thomas with 2 sacks, an unbelievable game. And then also Zavin Collins. Definitely no brainer there. Definitely no brainer. Let me go ahead and give a big shout out here to my guy Free Matter for the Blind, coming up clutch with the $5 donation. He says, do you think Marco maybe thought he was a starter and it got to his head? What's wrong with him? Question mark. That's a good question. That's an absolutely good question. I was hoping that Marco Wilson was going to really get a feel under him. The moment that we said that Antonio Hamilton was going to be our number 2 cornerback, I was hoping that was going to fuel him. Now, granted, I don't expect Marco Wilson to go 110% in preseason, right? I think it would kind of be a little foolish, because if you really look at our roster, ladies and gentlemen, Marco Wilson is going to find himself being a starter, whether it's the number 3, whether it's an outside guy, he's going to find himself as a starter. If the Arizona Cardinals do not pull the trigger and make a trade or bring somebody in, Marco Wilson is kind of the next best thing. Now, I think it was kind of shocking for a lot of fans, right? A lot of people had a lot of hopes. A lot of people had a lot of, praise about Marco Wilson coming as a 4th round pick, and this is going to be his 2nd year. A lot of people had a lot of high praise, but being that he was already passed up by Antonio Hamilton is a big deal. But at the other side of the coin, the Arizona Cardinals cornerback room depth is not that great, ladies and gentlemen. So he still kind of finds his way in there unless the Arizona Cardinals makes a move. Unless the Arizona Cardinal makes a move, then I don't see them not having him as a starter. Maybe not as a number 1 or number 2, but also keep in mind that Byron Murphy might play the slot, right? Byron Murphy might play the slot. So that makes Marco Wilson one of the outside guys. So although it was said that the number 2 is no longer his spot, I still do find him making his way into the roster, or at least a starting role, because of how bad our cornerback room looks like. Like we're really depending on a lot of these young cornerbacks this year to really kind of prove up and see like what we're going to do. Like that's what we're really depending on this year. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. But those are my winners. And then now let's go to the losers here. Now, I apologize, and I hate the word, right? I hate the word loser. So let's do this instead. I'm going to say, instead of saying losers, we're going to change this up. We're going to say stock down, because honestly, I do feel bad saying losers, because honestly, they're not, right? They're still very, very good players, highly athletic. They are on a roster because they got talent. So let's go stock down. I definitely don't want to. I don't want to call them losers for sure. So let's talk about the people that have stock down. Let's go for the defensive side of the ball. Honestly, Marco Wilson again. I'm sorry, and I feel like I keep picking on the young man time and time again. But Marco Wilson has gotten burned at least twice this game. At least twice this game. I don't like the spot that we're in going into the season. 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks away, and we're still very shaky on the cornerback position right now. We're still a little shaky grounds. We don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't like that we're in this position right now. I really, really don't like that we're in this position. Stock down, Marco Wilson. And the biggest reason why Marco Wilson is on there again is because he knows he's going to be a starter. He knows he's going to be one, but he's just not putting his full 110% in at all. And it's kind of concerning. It's kind of absolutely concerning. It really is. So that's my stock down. Now, on the other side of the ball, on the offense, I don't really have one. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe I would go with Trace McSorley. I don't think he had a fantastic game at all. Like, his percentage was just a little over 50%. Trace McSorley was 15 out of 29, 144 yards, no touchdowns at all. So I would say Trace McSorley in my stock down for the offensive side of the ball. My opinion, but he's going to make the 53-man roster. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be the number 3 quarterback. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to be. Now, Jaron Quarantano, on the other hand, he made some really good throws and some really good deep passes, but this guy is going to be a victim of maybe not even making a roster in the NFL. And it's just kind of one of those things. We are not bringing 4 quarterbacks in coming into the season. It's just not going to happen. Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy, and Trace McSorley. That's what we're going to be looking at for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. So we just kind of have a lot, right? We have a lot to kind of unfold. This game, although we lost, I said this a little earlier, although we lost this game, I still do feel like this was the closest thing that we've had compared to the other 2 games to an actual NFL game. This game right here. This game right here was the closest thing that we had to an actual NFL game. It got down to the last 2 minutes. Got down to the last 2 minutes, and it really took Logan Woodside to take that ball himself in his own hands. They almost had a touchdown. They could have probably won it there. He took it into his own hands, got the rushing touchdown, and then the rest is history. Arizona Cardinals ended up losing 26-23. And we go 1-2 in the preseason. Doesn't mean very much though, right? Preseason is preseason. It's not that big of a deal. We start 0-0 going into the regular season in 2022, and that's what our main focus should be. Yes, we have some players that are stock down, more players that are, stock up or, winners in this game, in my opinion, but I'll have to kind of wait and see. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. Let's take a look here. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, there you go. I guess also stock down and Trey McBride. Ian Keller over here reminded me. Trey McBride. I've already started seeing people on my comments saying, is Trey McBride about? No, he's not a bust. He's just not getting involved in the offense. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. The ball has gone thrown to him, but it's not to the point where it's very much. I still do have my prediction that Trey McBride is not going to be heavily involved in this offense. If he's lucky, he would get 200 to 300 yards, maybe 1 touchdown. If he's lucky. But I don't see Trey McBride getting heavily used in this offense unless there's a major injury to Max Williams or Zach Ertz. That's really the only way I would see Trey McBride not making it into this, or not being heavily involved. I think he's going to be used, especially maybe some trick plays. We'll probably get something along the lines where Trey McBride will, come in because he's a good blocker. One thing about Trey McBride is that he's a hybrid player. He's a good blocker and he's a good playmaker. He's the best of both worlds. When we have Max Williams is going to be our blocking tight end. We got Zach Ertz, playmaker. He does do some blocking, but he's not the best at it. So Trey McBride is good for that. Another super chat coming in from Free Matter for the Blind. My goodness, I appreciate another super chat, man. Thank you so very much for that. He says, our cornerback room makes rookies and backups look like Tom Brady. But hey, it's time for real football. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do this. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Let's take a look at the Arizona Cardinals roster right now in terms of cornerbacks right now. Now, granted, this is going to be including a lot of people that are probably going to get cut. So I'm going to be naming some people that you're probably going to be like, who? Huh? I beg your pardon? Say that name again? So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're all hoping and praying that a lot of these people are going to shake out for the Arizona Cardinals. But in the grand scheme of things, this is what our cornerback room looks like right now. So let's read off who we have. Daryl Baker Jr., Antonio Hamilton. He actually did get hurt. I don't know if you guys saw my video. Antonio Hamilton did get hurt. It's an undisclosed injury. Cliff Kingsbury is seeming to be like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe by week 1, we'll get a little bit more information. But let's continue on. Antonio Hamilton, Josh Jackson, possibility, right? He can very well shock us. Christian Matthew, we just got him in the draft. Byron Murphy, Jace Whitaker, and Marco Wilson. Anybody else I didn't mention, they're probably not going to make the roster. They're probably not going to make the roster at all. So our cornerbacks right now, it's a little scarce. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little scarce. Big shout out here. We got my guy Corey Davis coming up clutch with the super chat. He says, hello, AZ sports fans. How is your day going? What's up, brother? Appreciate you for stopping in, man. Thank you so very much. Very, very generous. Thank you so much for the contribution. My day is going good. It is. Honestly, I'm not upset about this loss. I'm really not. I'm not upset about this loss at all. I'm excited that real football is in the horizon. We got 2 weeks away before we go against Kansas City. I'm golden. I'm peachy. I've seen good things from Zavin Collins. That gets me to sleep at night. My big concern right now is the cornerback room. It's always been the cornerback room more than anything. Edge, I was a little concerned, but I'm seeing some flashes. I'm seeing some flashes from Victor Dimikici. I'm seeing some flashes from Cameron Thomas. I'm seeing some flashes of Bajay Sanders. So I'm not too concerned. The cornerbacks is what really, 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 really scares me more than anything. But overall, my day is going good. I can't complain. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so very much. Let's get to my guy here. I got my guy, Free Matter over here. He comes up with another comment. Oh, here he goes. He says, Murphy and Hamilton, question mark.
I'm sorry you're feeling that.
Oh, see, and now Siri's trying to talk to me here, but let me see. Free Matter for the Blind says Murphy and Hamilton, question mark. Marco Matthew Jackson. Holy cow, we're screwed. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, our cornerbacks right now, like our cornerback core, there's no doubt in my mind that we have to do something, right? Next week, by Wednesday, by Tuesday, Tuesday's when we're going to have to get the final 53-man roster. By Tuesday at 1 p.m. AZ time / Pacific time. That's when we have to get the final 53-man roster. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or next week, if we don't get a cornerback, I will be absolutely shocked. I will be absolutely shocked. I wouldn't know what to say. I really wouldn't. I would be very concerned and shocked. Now, granted, if you would have asked me, I would love the Arizona Cardinals to already have made that trade already. I would love the Arizona Cardinals to humor the fact, maybe bringing some veterans in. Joe Hayden, heck, why not give him a flyer? Why not? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. But why not give it a flyer, right? It's better than what we have. And I know some people are saying like, oh, no, we don't need him, right? He's old. But guys, there's still probably really good veterans out there that are probably better than our what our roster looks like right now. So it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. Free Matter coming up clutch. He says, good thing our offense is going to really light up the scoreboard. And I think that's what we might be holding our hope to. I really do. I think we're really holding hope that the Arizona Cardinals offense is going to be just so darn killer. So darn killer. I really do think that that's what we're holding our hope to. I do. I really, really do. Guys, if this is your first time here, I highly recommend you subscribe. Definitely go ahead and smack that like button as well. If you guys haven't done so, we have 66 people in here right now. Smack that like button and subscribe. We're doing this throughout the entirety of the year. We're talking Arizona Cardinals. This is where you want to be. This is where the most passionate fans are in this channel. We built this community out. And on top of that, we're on the road to 10K. So definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already. Smack the like button and subscribe. So yeah, I'm concerned. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm concerned with how this Arizona Cardinal team is really kind of shaking this out. I really wouldn't mind Joe Hayden. I really would. I'm seeing some people in the comments say, why not Joe? Yeah, I agree. Joe Hayden wouldn't be bad. Comes from a Steeler defense. Is he really worse than what we look like now? Right? I mean, come on. Why not? What's up, Corey? Corey says, so we are all in the NFC West teams lost their last preseason game. Well, let's go. Let's go. Guess we don't have to feel so bad when I end up talking in the round table on the NFC West Network. But see, to me, this game wasn't about winning. This game was about how Zavin's going to look. This game to me wasn't about anything else other than let's really see what we can do about our players. And I'm happy with what I saw. I'm not going to lie to you. Really, literally the only stock down that I have was Marco Wilson. That's really the only stock down. Now, Trey McBride can also be put on the stock down there as well, but I don't think it's his fault. This is his second preseason game. He probably doesn't have a connection with Trace McSorley or Jarek Guarantano. He probably doesn't. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Free meta for the blind. Another super chat. My goodness. Another super chat coming up clutch for free meta for the blind. Thank you so very much thanks for being generous. Thank you. He says something I would really like was, I always say Lucada, hopefully I didn't butcher his name, by the ball, even if he didn't get the tackle. So that was the guy that we just drafted, right? It's the guy that we just drafted. Let me get his first name because I know it, but by Jesse. Is it Lucada, whatever it is? I know what you're talking about, though. 2 tackles today, 1 assist. Him and Chandler Wooten seem to be the big linebackers that are being talked about a lot. And I'm not talking about outside. I'm talking about the inside linebackers. Those are the 2 players that a lot of people are really seeming to talk a lot about. Chandler Wooten, he had 6 tackles today, ladies and gentlemen. 6 and 3 assist tackles. Tay Daly, I think he ended up getting hurt, but 6 tackles, 2 assists. Manny Jones, hey, he opened up a lot of eyes today. I'm not quite sure exactly how it's going to shake out because our defensive line, you're going to be looking at Licky Fotu and you're going to be looking at Rashad Lawrence, and automatically he's going to beat out Manny Jones. Although he had a really good game. He really did. We'll have to kind of wait and see exactly how it all shakes out, though. We got Titan South up in here. Says GG Cards. Appreciate you for coming in here. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the win. We got my guy Anish saying, someone call Patrick Peterson. Oh, boy. Put it in the comments. Who do you want the Arizona Cardinals to call? Flood the chat right now. Who do you want the Arizona Cardinals to pick up the phone? And I know this is a mouse, but pick up the phone. Who do you want the Arizona Cardinals to call right now? Go ahead and put it on the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and let me find out who still is available in free agency right now. Put it in the comments below. Who do you want the Arizona Cardinals to call? Don't say Ghostbusters. I want to hear a cornerback that you feel like is really going to help out this Arizona Cardinal roster. Put it in the comments below, please. And I'm going to bring up the list right now on who's the best available cornerbacks as of right now. Let's take a look here. Terry says, my mom. That's funny. That's funny. Lennon says Joe Hayden. Alex says Xavier Rhodes. SOS, need of a cornerback. Absolutely, Edward. Absolutely. John Paul says trade is the best route. Anybody that's not named Marco Wilson, Mario says. Nice. Mikey Smith says you. No, I'm better talking about football. I'm not trying to get hit, but I appreciate you. King Savage says a retired Deion Sanders. My goodness. He says they could even do better than what we're doing right now. Well, let's take a look at the best available free agents right now in cornerbacks. The best available free agents in cornerbacks right now. Chris Harris Jr., Kevin King, Xavier Rhodes, Ross Cockrell, Richard Sherman, Joe Hayden, Dante Dion, Desmond Trufant, Robert Alford, AJ Bouye. Now, this list was updated 4 days ago. Any of those people you want? Hey, it's better than what we have right now. It's better than what we have right now. So I do agree with you, John Paul. I think it is better for the Arizona Cardinals to make the trade, but everybody knows right now that the Arizona Cardinals is looking for a cornerback, and what's going to happen? The value is going to go up. What's going to happen? That darn value is going to go up because we waited and we waited and we waited to the position that we are in right now. We're just kind of hanging out and waiting. Everybody knows that we want a cornerback. So even if a quarterback doesn't go for a third rounder and we're trying to give a fifth rounder, no, they're going to be like, give me a second rounder. We know you need it. We know you need it. So it's just, I hate the situation that we're in right now, right? I hate the situation that we're in right now, that we're literally bent over a barrel and we're trying to look for a cornerback, but everybody knows that we're a needy cornerback team. Freeman, my goodness, let me get you this. Let me get you RIP for Betty White, but let me get you the Betty White dab.
Got him! Got him!
Appreciate the super chat, coming in clutch with another super chat. He says, serious question. Do you think our damaged relationship with Patrick Peterson made him talk corners out of coming to AZ? That's a very valid question. That's a very valid question. And I guess I'll answer it the way that I guess I'll answer it here. I don't think Patrick Peterson has as much pull as he think he has, especially this late in his career. I think there's athletes that listen to his podcast. And I do believe that he does have some people within his ear, but let's be honest, right? If you're looking for a role, if you're looking for a spot and somebody's willing to pay you $5-6 million for the year, I mean, you're going to take that job. You're going to take that job. At least in my personal opinion, whether you heard something from Patrick Peterson or not, or unless you guys are completely best friends, like if you guys are complete best friends, then hey, that's different. But honestly, what I've noticed so far is that I know there's a lot of players that are really cool with each other, but best friends is not going to keep the other best friend from making $7-8 million a year. You know what I mean? So I do agree with what you're saying there. I think to an extent, yes, but I do blame this a little bit more on the Arizona Cardinals than I do on Patrick Peterson. I blame it more on Arizona Cardinals than I do on Patrick Peterson because we should have made this move. We really should have. Closer to the draft, we should have made it sometime that's not right now. 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from the regular season against Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Now, granted, he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill, but still, this is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about. Travis Kelce and all the other weapons he's going to probably make wonderful. So cornerback is a big need. Cornerback is a huge need. But great question, though. Honestly, that's a very good call out, Free Matter. That's a very good call out. Very good call out. Oh, yeah, Mikey, Juju. Yeah, 100%. I forgot. Juju Smith-Schuster's over there too. Whether you believe in the TikTok guy or not, Juju Smith-Schuster has produced in Pittsburgh and is getting an opportunity with probably one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. Juju Smith-Schuster is probably going to have a really good season. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out, though. We'll have to kind of wait till it all shakes out. Ian over here being very optimistic. He says Chiefs are going down week 1. Kelsey is going to get locked up by Simmons. We'll also keep in mind too, right? I think a lot of people didn't have faith, me included, in how we were going to play the Tennessee Titans last year. And we came out and we absolutely dominated. The Tennessee Titans. So hopefully we can have that type of game as well. Hopefully. We'll see, right? Fingers crossed. I'm seeing on the comments here, and this is not the first time I'm seeing the name Marcus Peters. Really? So this is the way I feel about Marcus Peters. Let me ask you guys this. Is Marcus Peters in a team that's in contention to get to the playoffs? If not Super Bowl. Is Marcus Peters in contention, or is he on a team that is in contention for the playoffs or for the Super Bowl? Very, very simple question. So is Marcus Peters in a team currently that's in contention for a playoffs or for a Super Bowl? I'll wait. King. Simple. Yes. There's no way in heck that there's going to be a team that's contending that's going to be giving up their probably second best cornerback on their roster. It's just not going to happen. And if they do, wow. Good job, Steve Keim. It's not going to happen. I've seen people say some crazy things today. Not today. I've seen this last week, and I'm not sure if it's for the clicks. I'm not sure it's because they don't have nothing to talk about, but I'm hearing people saying the Arizona Cardinals should get CeeDee Lamb. Ladies and gentlemen, CeeDee Lamb is not going to get traded to the Arizona Cardinals. Open your darn eyes. The Dallas Cowboys just got rid of Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb is not coming to the Arizona Cardinals. If you wanted him that bad, you should have drafted him. It's not going to happen. And I kind of feel the same way of Marcus Peters at the same time. He is currently on a contended team that they're trying to do something themselves. Why give up a good player for a second, third round pick? Why? There's no point. Unless the GM over there, or unless it's a clown show, then that would be different. But the Baltimore Ravens are a very highly respected organization that's always in contention to the playoffs. Always in contention to the playoffs. They won the Super Bowl about 10 years ago. There's no way in heck. In my personal opinion. The best thing I'm going to say right now is keep CeeDee's name out of your mouth. Because CeeDee Lamb ain't coming here, y'all. Keep CeeDee's name out of your mouth. He ain't coming. There's no way in hell that's the Dallas Cowboys, who just got rid of Amari Cooper, is going to get rid of CeeDee Lamb. Let's really think about this. Really think about this. This ain't Madden, y'all. This ain't Madden where you can go to the settings and change them to a punter and try to get him for a 5th round pick. This ain't Madden. This is real life. So the CeeDee Lamb, don't even bring CeeDee Lamb's name to mind. And Marcus Peters is not as strong as I feel about it, because anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. Now, if the Ravens have a very bad season and they start off 3-7, whatever, if they're starting, then maybe it might be different. It might be different then. But there's no way in heck CeeDee Lamb's coming here. Everybody needs to stop it. Everybody needs to tell the person who's saying this to shut the living heck up, because it ain't happening. The Dallas Cowboys, in their minds, are in contention in this NFC. And there's no way in heck they're going to get rid of their top wide receiver. Open your eyes. Open them. If you want a CeeDee Lamb that bad, you should have called his name out when it was the 2020 draft. Like, it's not happening. It ain't. We got Marquise Hollywood Brown. This guy's going to light it up. And when DeAndre Hopkins comes back, my goodness, watch out. Marquise Hollywood Brown, AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Rondale Moore. And if we can get Andy Isabella like we're seeing in this preseason, my goodness. Antoine Wesley, Greg Dortch. And I'm only just to name a few here. It's crazy. Our wide receiving core looks good. It looks fantastic. It looks good. Rams House in the... What's up, Rams House? What's going on? We have Rams House saying, people are really saying CeeDee Lamb's coming to the car. It's just... What people are trying... I don't know. I'm not sure if it's for the clicks. I'm not sure if it's because it's the popular thing to say right now. I'm not sure if it's because people want to be like, oh my God, look at this creative thing that I'm saying. It's not happening. It ain't. No. Stop. I'm not sure if you have a kid or anything like that, but like, you know how they try to do it and you're trying to slap their hand. Like, no, stop. It ain't happening. John Paul says crazy people. Facts. Let's not worry about CeeDee Lamb. Let's worry about getting ourselves a freaking corner. That's what we should be worried about. That's what we should be worried about, mocking a freaking corner to the Arizona Cardinals. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Arizona Cardinals giving up a second rounder or third rounder because we need a corner that bad. That's what we should be talking about, not CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb. I love him coming out of the draft. I wanted CeeDee Lamb, but where there's no way in heck, let's squash it. It's over. It's done. We ain't getting the guy. Ram says, I wouldn't even say y'all need a receiver. Well, exactly. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Ian says only the crazies around. Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. It really is. This is a good stream, y'all. I appreciate you guys for being here. By the way, we have 80 people up in here right now. Thank you so very much for coming here, guys. If 80 of you guys are here, and if you guys have not subscribed to the AZ Sports Fan here, please subscribe. We are on the road to 10K. We just recently hit 9K, and we are chugging along, ladies and gentlemen. We're chugging along at the bit, and we are trying to get to 10K. So if this is your first time here, subscribe. If this is your first time here, smack that like button. It really does help the YouTube algorithm, and tells people, hey, we're here. We're trying to build this community out right. Appreciate you. Rams House coming up clutch. Just hit the like button. Absolutely. Appreciate you. All right, let's keep it. Take it to the comments. Let's see here. Mikey says, Greg Dortch, the GOAT. Greg Dortch has done a lot of stuff for us. Some great stuff for the Arizona Cardinals. Some very, very good stuff. Today, 6 receptions, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. What else do you need? What else do you want? Greg Dortch has done it all preseason long. And even if Greg Dortch is not a starter in our rotation of wide receivers, I am 110% confident being a punt returner and a kick returner. We can use his talents in special teams. He needs to make that 53-man roster. He just needs to. He absolutely needs to. He's an amazing talent. And if you would let him go, we're going to regret it. We absolutely will regret it. What's up, Zach? He says, what were the positives? I heard McSorley was bad. I wouldn't say McSorley was bad. I think his best game was the very first game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think a lot of us had that expectation, right? We saw Trace McSorley light it up, and McSorley had a very good game against the Bengals. And I think he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have the comparable game to what we've seen in the Bengals game. Now, I don't think he had a really good game against the Ravens either. So I wouldn't say Trace McSorley a bad game, but I do think he's going to make the 53-man roster regardless of how this shook out. Like, I think he needs the opportunity. Mikey Smith says, wide receivers the least of our problems. Facts. Ooh, this is the question here. And I need y'all. I need your guys' help. Running back. We just talked about our wide receiving core, right? Our wide receiving core is stacked. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. Running backs. Who is going to make the 53-man roster in the running backs right now? And I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Who will be our running backs in the final 53? That's it. Give me a list. Who do you think the Arizona Cardinals are going to pull the trigger on? Do you think we're going to carry 4, 5, 6, 7 running backs? We don't have 7 running backs, but do you think we're going to carry as much as I think we might? Who do you think our running backs are going to be? And just to be very, very specific here, I'm looking for names. You don't have to give me the order, just the names that are going to make it. Even if they're not primarily running back and they use mainly in special teams, that's fine. I want to hear it. Who will be our running backs in the final 53? Ian coming up clutch with the 1, 2, 3, 4. Love it. Connor, Eno, Williams, Ingram. Jonathan Ward. I haven't heard anything new from Jonathan Ward's update. And it's very, very upsetting. It's very, very concerning that he got hurt again. But you might be onto something there, man. You might be onto something. Alex saying, Connor, Williams, Ward, and Ingram. I really think Benjamin is going to get cut. Oh, Alex, what? Okay. Let's keep it going here. We have Mars up there, says, cut Williams. I'm sure he's going to be good, but let's keep the younger guys. Ooh, I like where your mind is. Keenan says, I like Ward a lot, but Eno gets the ASU favoritism. True. Jonathan Ward will, yeah, I think you might be right. We still don't know what's going to happen with Jonathan Ward, right? We really don't. Have to kind of wait and see at this point. Edward says, Connor, Eno, Ward, and Ingram. That seems to be the consensus, right? That seems to be the consensus. Is it Scansy? Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Says James, Connor, Eno, Williams. He says 5. We're bringing 5 running backs up in here. Okay. And see, running back is another one where we don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about it. Because our running backs look really, really good this year. Keontae, I'm sold. Keontae Ingram, y'all, I'm sold. 16 carries today, 61 yards. But not only that, he had 1 reception, 8 yards. But not only that, it's just the way he was getting those yards. A big body running back that will bulldoze you over. I like what I've seen from Keontae. And even the broadcasters, Wolf was saying the same thing. He was like, I'm sold. I think that might be how it's going to shake out. And I'm not going to specifically point a comment out. I'm going to leave it to the mystery here because I am going to be dropping my prediction on my final 53 prediction roster tomorrow. So definitely make sure you have your post notification bell on and you can kind of grill me in the comments below. But we're going to give you all the nitty gritty. And this time I will not forget our long snapper because that's what happened last year. For some dumb reason, I was so heavily involved and I'm like, this is the 53-man roster and we don't have a long snapper. That's how darn good we're going to be. Ain't happening this year, y'all. Ain't happening this year. Let's keep it going here. Edward says we need O-line. Well, honestly, this is the time where I'm like, we might be all right. Cody Ford, the guy that we just traded for, I honestly thought he did pretty good. Now, granted, we only saw him for about a series or two, nothing too crazy, but I honestly think Cody Ford did actually pretty darn good. Our offense is stacked. Dark Saber, 100%. Our offense is stacked. The concerning part of this all is going to be our defense. And are we going to make the appropriate things to really come down and say, hey, we're going to beat you because we're going to put more points than you are. You're going to score on our defense, but we're going to put more points. That's how we're going to beat you. That can work. But we just got to make sure that we got to be evolving as the year goes on, because we've seen if we don't adjust, defensive coordinators can catch on real quick of what we can do. Keontae looks good. And I think I'm sold. Free Matter says if Eno was going to get cut, he would have played more tonight. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, I do agree with that. Also, keep in mind on the other side of the coin that Eno Benjamin was the starting running back every single game this year. Preseason. Sorry. Every single preseason game this year. Eno Benjamin was the starter. Every single preseason game, Eno Benjamin was the starter. Now, granted, if you look at his stats, it's not flashy because Jonathan Ward was getting the touchdowns, Daryl Williams was getting the touchdowns, but the starter was Eno. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Have to kind of wait and see how this all shakes out. Let me ask you guys one question right now. If there's one jersey you want to get this year, what is that one jersey you want to get this year? Put it in the comments. Got Jerome says Kyler 2022 MVP. I just need him to stay healthy. I'm not trying to put that expectation on Kyler Murray with MVP. I just want him to stay healthy through the year. I want him to play the exact same game on week 1 to week 17. That's all I want from Kyler Murray. I don't want him to be MVP. I want him to be healthy. That's it. That's it. Corey Davis clutch with another $2 super chat. Appreciate you, Corey Davis. Guys, if you guys don't know, super chats are priority in terms of comments. Helps the channel grow. Appreciate you, Corey Davis. Says, do you have a fullback? We don't really use fullbacks very much. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have one. Right now in the roster, let's take a look. I don't believe we do have one, though. No, we don't even have a fullback. We don't. But you're right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we put Keontae as a fullback. You know what I mean? Or Jonathan Ward if his injury is not as bad as we're hoping it. Hope it's not. So we could put one of our running backs in fullback, but technically we don't have a fullback on our roster right now. They're all listed as halfbacks right now. Great question, though. You guys probably have one of the best fullbacks in the game. And I know you guys, your run game is magical, what you guys do over there. So I'm excited to see Cardinals versus 49ers. Stoked about it. Let's see here. Connor's our fullback. He's 6'3". That's funny. Got Lennon Wolf says Buda Baker. That's cool. Jean Paul. I don't think. He says, I would pick up the rookie from the Titans, not the Bills. The Titans, not the Bills. Yeah, not that guy. We don't want him. We don't want to touch that with the 6-foot pole. We're good. We got Andy Lee. We're fine, at least for a couple years. David says, we need a cornerback. We're going to get embarrassed. Well, we've been talking about that in the whole stream. We really have. What jersey do you want? I want the DeAndre Hopkins jersey. I want the DeAndre Hopkins alternate jersey is the one I want. And I keep saying alternate. I'm sorry. Color Rush is the one I want. I want the black jersey, the red lettering, the outline in red. That's the one I want. I want that DeAndre Hopkins jersey. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I'm Immortal says MVP would be nice though. Yeah, oh, absolutely. I would take MVP in a heartbeat. Facts. Definitely. It's just I'm not trying to put that expectation on Kyler Murray. I'm not saying, hey, you gotta be. I just want him to stay healthy. Like legit. Give me a full 17 game season, Kyler Murray. And that also kind of obviously depends on our offensive line as well, right? We'll have to kind of wait and see how our offensive line shakes out. But I'm glad. I'm honestly very glad that Kyler Murray didn't play all preseason. I'm glad. We need a person who could stop the run and cornerback. If you didn't see this game, just FYI, if you didn't see this game, Zavin Collins actually had a really good game. So stock up for Zavin Collins. Hopefully, the more reps he's going to get, the more better he's going to get. So stock up for Zavin Collins for sure. Free Matter. My goodness, man. How can I thank you, my good? How can I thank you? Let me get you this.
Got him! Got him!
Thank you so very much, man. You are killing it with these super chats today, man. Thank you so very much. You are funding me and probably trying to get... You are funding the DeAndre Hopkins jersey. Let's just say that. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you. He says, my conspiracy theory is the NFL wants the Raiders to win the Super Bowl this year. I hope I'm wrong. I'm very curious about your conspiracy theory. Is it because Carr? Chandler Jones? Why the Raiders? Oh, because they moved to Vegas? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. I'm curious. Is it going to be Raiders and who in the Super Bowl? Cardinals? I don't know. I'm curious. What's your conspiracy theory? I want to actually read it. I'm curious. Lennon says, dang, those color rush jerseys are amazing. 100%. They are fantastic. And this helmet is the bee's knees. Let me just say that right now. The bee's knees. This helmet's the best thing that we've had. Lennon says, my brother's... Oh, your brother's a Raiders fan? All right, here we go. Free Matter says, yes, they need to make money after building a stadium, just like the Rams last year. Ooh. Okay. Huh. Bro, if this happens, you might be onto something, my guy. If this happens, you might be onto something, my guy. I'm not even lying. You might be onto something. I hope not. Last thing I need is to find out that this NFL is rigged. Last thing I need in my life. Last thing I need. Let's see here. We need a person who can stop the run and a corner. Oh, yeah, I read that one already. Appreciate you. Anish says, Raiders got a very good team as well. Let's not forget. Yeah, 100%. They do. Dude, our stretch of the first 6 games without DeAndre Hopkins is tough, y'all. It's tough. Let's not forget that either, right? It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to shake out for the Arizona Cardinals, no doubt. The Chiefs week 1, the Raiders week 2, the Rams week 3, Panthers, we suck against the Panthers. Week 5, it's going to be the Eagles. Week 6, we got the Seahawks. We kind of get lucky with the Seahawks there because they're in shambles right now. But we got to take the wins where we can take the wins this year. We do. We can't lose to the Lions anymore. We can't lose to the teams that we should be beating. The Panthers, they got Baker Mayfield. Maybe this is the time that we actually finally beat them because Kyler Murray has Baker Mayfield's number in the NFL. Maybe. But if we lose against the darn freaking Panthers again, we're just cursed. We're cursed. But our 6-game stretch without DeAndre Hopkins is brutal. Absolutely brutal. I swear the Rams defense had our playbook in the wild card game, but whatever, go Cards. That's fair. That's fair. That's 100% fair. I would love for the Arizona Cardinals to do nothing more than to adjust. This whole shotgun for the majority of the year needs to stop. We need to get Kyler Murray under center. We need to start doing some bootlegs. We need to start doing some jet sweeps. We got the players to do it. We just need to put them in the position to succeed. Give me 20% different type of formation. You can keep the shotgun. I know that's what Kyler Murray is very, very confident in, and I completely see that, but we need to be an evolving, a door of completely just evolving. We need to. Or it's going to happen the exact same way. If Cliff doesn't adjust, then we're going to be back to square one, where we start off doing very well, and then we just crash and burn. Alex says, I don't know. I'd believe that conspiracy if they went into the Super Bowl last year, considering all the bad luck they had. Firing their head coach, Ruggs is off, field nonsense. Yeah, they had a lot of issues. They really did. Anish says, I have us beating the Hawks for sure, but the other 5 will be tough. Facts. 110%. Facts, for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the hour mark. If this is your first time here on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, I highly recommend you subscribe. Subscribe, smack the like button, do everything you can to help this channel grow out. Subscribe, smack the like button. We are on the road to 10K, ladies and gentlemen. 10K is what we're on the road to, and I cannot do it without you guys. Smack that like button, subscribe, do all those different stuff that YouTubers ask. I would appreciate it. We are hitting our hour mark at this very moment. Usually that's how far we actually go into. But ladies and gentlemen, this game was an absolute great thing to watch. This is as close as we have to an actual NFL game in this game that we ended up seeing against the Titans. Yes, we lost. The Arizona Cardinals are 1-2 in the preseason, but who the hell cares? Let's get this ready for regular season in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we get the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 weeks. Very stoked about it. Very, very stoked about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Have a great rest of your day. I will be releasing my prediction of the 53-man roster tomorrow. So make sure you go ahead and grill me in the comments. Make sure you tell me I forgot the long snapper again in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Definitely have your post notification bell on. I am going to go hard this next week with just content for days. So I appreciate the support on the road to 10K. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.